Yo, what's up? Good morning. Grant Cohn, Maj Sports, Nick Talks Niners. We did so many mock drafts. It's only right that we come back and give our official assessment, evaluation of each pick for pick, what we like, what we don't. Been talking with all my co-hosts all week about their feelings. I really want to know what you guys think because you guys were my chief mock draft experts. So let's go through pick for pick. I mean, we've done this so many times. What would the mock draft simulator have given the 49ers for their pick? So first round, they got Tyler Booker on the board, Kenneth Grant on the board, no offensive tackle, Kelvin Banks gone. And they take Mykel Williams from Georgia. Let's start with what you like about the pick.
What I like about the pick, I mean, he was probably top 3 like prospects, like towards the end of it for me. So I love the pick, and the things I like about it is day one, he's going to be an absolute run stuffing demon. If you watch his tape at Georgia, like a lot of people are giving him kind of a knock for, I guess stats wise, right? Because he didn't have the greatest stats, but if you watch his tape, he's getting double teamed every single play. Georgia asked him to do a lot, so he was getting double teamed every play. And on top of it, Georgia does sub out their defensive line, like almost platoons, right? They do kind of. So the production's not there because one, he doesn't play as much as a lot of other college players, and two, Georgia asked him to do probably the most on that defensive line. So I love the pick. I think the athleticism and the upside is definitely there. It just depends if they can, kind of teach him the ways of Nick Bosa's pass rush, and if he can become a good pass rush guy, because the run stuffing, part of it, like he's gonna set an edge, and he's gonna do what's needed in that kind of regard, but definitely needs to develop some pass rush.
Yeah, I agree with Nick. I just feel like I felt like we just drafted the second best edge rusher in the draft. Like I know people were talking about Mike Green being better than Mykel Williams, but I think Mykel Williams, like it went Abdul Carter, then Mykel Williams. We drafted the second best edge rusher in the draft. Like I don't know why. I see people hate on this pick. Like I don't know who else they would wanted us to draft at number 11. Mykel Williams at that position, he was the best player. So I think if we upgrade
the next pick was kind of interesting, but we don't have to get to that. You can finish your take on Mykel. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I like this pick. He's the second best edge rusher in the draft. Why I don't know why people are hating on him. I like him. Great pick.
Yeah, I guess we could talk about his weaknesses or questions about him next. I mean, what I liked about him, I think a lot of people didn't know which direction Saleh was going to go with the defensive line. Did he want a Mike Green or a James Pierce type? Did he want someone small and fast like D Ford? And it was like, no. Absolutely not. I think we forget, like, he spent a lot of time with the Packers last year once he got fired from the Jets. So he wasn't like officially on their staff, but he was there a lot, and he's very good friends with half leader defensive coordinator. Yeah, like whatever they called him.
Yeah.
And their D line is huge. Their D ends are huge. Rashawn Gary's almost 280 pounds. Van Ness is more than 270. So I think, and that Packers defense had a lot of success against the run last year. So maybe Saleh got an up close look at that and saw what a huge edge setting powerful DN can do. Two of them can do for your defense, and now he has the same configuration. So I mean that I like that a lot. It seems like
no one's going to be able to run on our defense.
I mean it's going to be tough to run
on our defense.
Who's a better? I mean, he already looks like one of the better run defenders at that position in the league. He's 100%. Been doing it since 18.
100%. And you could just work on his pass rush if and
he's so young.
Yes, he's 20 years old too. That's the best part about it.
He'll be 21 by the time the season starts. But I just love how they went with this pick, because there's not only a massive amount of upside, but you're getting a solid base. Like the floor is high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean when it comes to
as
run
opposed
defense,
to Shamar Stewart, where the floor is low.
I don't even.
If we drafted Shamar Stewart, I would have crashed out.
Like they could have taken Shamar Stewart. He's another big defensive end. He's more athletic, but he's less good at football.
Dude, he has no back. No back.
Shamar Stewart just has the same build as Myles Garrett, so everybody thinks he's good. I don't like Shamar Stewart at all. I'm so happy.
You think Mykel has more of a bag than Shamar?
I think so, and you can't tell me this guy's not going to get around Nick Bosa and develop a crazy game. Like he's going to get back, dude. Like, but I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it happen with guys on the practice field. Like we get these videos all the time, whether it's from you or other people on the practice field. Like Bosa coaches up people. I know he's kind of a quiet guy, but he's like one of those guys where if you go to him, he's going to tell it all. But I mean, if you don't, I mean, he probably won't say very much, right? But
Okay, let's do the other side of it. This is not a slam dunk pick. Who knows if it was the right pick? What are some questions, misgivings, whatever that you have about this one?
Probably just his pass rush. Like that's really it.
That's a big one though. With the 11th pick, I think he needs to be like. It's not like Alfred Collins in round 2 where you're just a second round pick, and if you're just a run defender, that might be okay. Like here, yes, you're an elite run defender, great. But if you're getting 4 sacks a season, fans might not be so happy.
That is.
I'm not saying he's gonna be a 4 sack a season guy though.
Yeah, I think year 1 might be slower for him in the pass rush until he kind of gets the hang of it. But I mean, dude, that guy's build is unreal. Like he's like what 6'5". Like, he's a big dude, you know.
His arms are weirdly long. His arms
are insanely long. So I think they drafted the rest of the draft with kind of that in mind, and you know, having Alfred Collins next to him, and then you got CJ West. Like, I think it's going to be a lot easier than people are kind of making it out to be, and I don't think he's going to have a bag year 1, so to speak, when it comes to the pass rush. I just think he's going to swallow a lot of stuff up on the backside of Bosa compared to what we have not had. We haven't had that since literally Ford, right?
Well, it'll be interesting because to me, he'll get the first opportunity as an edge rusher on 3rd down. And in that role, he'll get a lot of one-on-ones. And I think Saleh will also probably scheme him into like stunts and games and stuff like that.
You know what my take is? My take is it's going to be Bosa, West, Collins, McKell for first and second down. And if we get into a 3rd and long situation, they're going to bring another D end in. They're going to kick Collins out. They're going to have CJ West, Bosa, McKell on the inside working against the guard. And they're going to bring another D end in. And that's going to be
That's what I was going to ask. And that's like, okay if he ends up being a 3rd down interior rusher. But is that his projection? Is that his future? Is he Alden Smith? Or is he more of like a Justin Tuck or a Charles Omenihu or a Arden? I mean, like a really good version of that. And that's okay if he is. That's my question. Like, did they draft an edge rusher or did they draft an edge setter interior rusher? I don't know.
I think year 1, that's where it goes. But I think past year 1, Kaserik's going to develop and to stay outside. Because realistically, like Omenihu was a great player. And like if he's that and better, like that would be nice. But I don't want him inside on 3rd down in year 2, year 3, year 4. Like he's just too athletic to be inside past the first year, I think.
And you know,
do you guys think this was the best? As he gets older,
he might get bigger. He might be more suited for that. Go ahead, Maj. Sorry.
Do you guys think this was the best pick at 11? Like, was there any other players you guys would have wanted? Because, like, for me, I thought this was the best pick at 11.
I thought this was. I mean, Walter Nolan would be the only other one where I wouldn't have batted an eye or been like it wouldn't have changed. Both players I would have loved. So I love this pick, and if we went Walter Nolan, I would have loved that pick. So
yeah,
I think Walter Nolan went to a good fit in a 5-man front. I think he'll be really
Atlanta
good.
Or not Atlanta, the Cardinals. Sorry. Yeah, that'll be fun to watch.
Here's the other one, and like it's gonna make you guys laugh or roll your eyes, but the pick right after Mykel Williams is interesting. Tyler Booker. It's like, does he play at a premium position? No, absolutely not. Do you want to take a guard with the 11th pick? No, really, ideally not. But that's a guy that you could see being all-pro. That's a guy you could see being like,
but at pick
perennial
12,
Pro Bowler. With Mykel, I don't know that he'll ever necessarily reach that level. Like, is he a Pro Bowl defensive end? Maybe, possibly, not sure.
I feel like the guard pick at pick 12, like Nick was gonna say, pick 12 is a little bit crazy, but I do have a feeling like now that the draft was kind of like, it's kind of past, I do think Tyler Booker is gonna be a dog. Like I think the Cowboys draft as a whole was actually really good. So
you should have seen
good drafting.
Maj and I did a live stream during the draft, and Maj's cousin is a Cowboys fan.
Yeah,
and, he was hoping for a plethora of different players.
He was heated.
He was
He was
heated,
mad.
and Maj was laughing at it in his face. How old is your cousin, Maj? Isn't he like 12?
Like
He's young.
13.
Yeah, he
That's
seems
so
young.
funny.
Yeah.
Well, he'll
He was
get over
mad.
it.
Yeah.
Amaya says, I think AC will be the heir to Armstead. AC.
The heir apparent.
Alfred
Who's
Collins.
AC?
Alfred Collins.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
All right,
Come on,
let's
heir
talk about
apparent.
Alfred Collins right now.
Yeah.
I love this
I
pick.
think this was seen as a little bit of a reach. He was projected to go maybe more in the 60s. Maybe not.
Yeah.
They take him at 43, 6'6", 330. What do you guys like about this pick? What was good about it?
Well, I watched Texas all year. I don't like Alfred Collins isn't like it's nothing crazy. He's just a run stuffer. Like he's just a run stuffing specialist. Like you can't run on this guy. Like that's really the only thing I know about Alfred Collins, which is a great thing because no one's gonna be able to run on us, like I said. So there's nothing really crazy about Alfred Collins. He's huge. I think he's like 6'6", 330 something. So he's a big body as well. And like you said, I think Saul's just trying to make this defensive line just absolutely huge. So I like this
Yeah.
pick. Everyone thought it was a reach. I loved this pick. I loved it.
Yeah, I'll give you the kind of the negatives, I guess you could say, is sometimes his pad level gets high. But that's coachable. Like to me, he's different. You know, I was really low on Deion Walker out of Kentucky. I thought he's a horrible prospect. The Bills ended up taking him. I thought he was a horrible prospect because his pad level is an issue on every snap. Like it's not like a, and he'll have the occasional like wow play. So I just wasn't high on him at all. Whereas Collins, you'll see it occasionally. The pad level will get high, but I think he can work on that, and I think he'll get it figured out. So that's kind of the only really negative knock I have on him. The positives is, I mean, like Maj said, he's a great run defender, and I think if he hits his ceiling, like if you watch him and Chris Jones, they're so similar. Like the way they play, how they move, it's really weird. I'm not saying he's going to be Chris Jones. That would be amazing. I'm not saying he's going to be that guy, but I think that is his like ceiling, is like reaching something like a Chris Jones. So if we could get half that, I mean, that guy's going to be a great player. I love this pick. I thought it was kind of unorthodox how they went with him. I thought they were going to go somewhere else, but I mean, TJ Sanders got taken off the board, a pick or two before, and that was my guy for a second round pick was TJ Sanders. I did like Landon Jackson, but since we went Mikal with the first pick, I don't see a problem with this pick, and I did like it. So I don't know.
I love the Chris Jones comparison. They're both 6'5.5", both got 34.5-inch arms. Not saying he's Chris Jones, but we've seen what having such a big, dominating, powerful defensive tackle can do to teams.
Yeah.
What I like about Alfred Collins, he seems versatile in terms of like where you can line him up. So like on first down, you could put him at 3 technique, or you could put him at like 4-eye or 5 technique if you wanted to sort of get away from the wide 9 and do a 5-man front against a team like Baltimore or Philly. You could do that with him. He did that at Texas. And then on third down, I think you could put him at 1 technique, put him in an A gap, say like, the center is going to have to slide this way. This is a 6'6", 330-pound dude. Like put him in the A gap, have him bat down passes and dictate the slide to the center, and then like build your pressures off of that. I think you could do a lot with him. Was he going to have a lot of sacks? Not necessarily. I mean, maybe if guys run into him and he's cleaning up, then possibly that's how Armstead would get sacks. But I still think he can have a 3-down impact as a really big dude who's can play a bunch of different techniques.
Yeah, and the thing is too is if you watch his tape, dude, this guy chases down running backs. Like this guy does not stop. Yeah, he does not stop. His motor's there, and
you know what Salah used to say when he was here the first time? He said you could judge the speed of a defense based on how strenuously or vigorously the defensive linemen chase after plays. That's how you judge the speed.
We're never gonna see Chase Young effort in this guy. No. Like this guy will
Solid
chase
never would
have
been okay with that.
Don't bring up Chase Young. That guy Chase Young pissed me off. That guy was the most lazy player I've ever seen in my life. Gosh, he was so I hate Chase Young.
Yeah.
Okay, the downside to taking Alfred Collins in round 2, we never projected him to the 49ers in round 2. So what do you think? What are some potential questions you got?
Well, I had a lot of my mock drafts. I took him at 75. Like
that's what I was going to say.
If he was there, so I had no problem with them taking. Like if I loved him at 75, I liked him at 43. So we didn't take him. I brought up my only kind of negative with him, and it's the pad level at times.
Mhm.
But that's really the only negative I see. I guess his floor is a little lower than guys like TJ Sanders, so to speak. But I mean, this guy's an animal, dude. Like I
And his
don't have any
pass
problem with
rush,
this pick. Yeah, his pass rush
minimal
is,
production.
but the thing is like this is why I'm saying like you can hate on some of the picks based on the player, but when they did it all together with
Mhm.
Williams, Collins, West, and who am I leaving out? That's it. And then the speedy linebacker and Nick Martin, which we'll talk about for the next pick.
Yeah.
I just love how they paired it together because I don't like I think all these players are going to fit so well together. That's kind of my biggest takeaway
Yeah, I agree with
from the
that. Because
defensive
Martin
line
needs
picks.
Collins.
He has to have him. He has to have him.
He has to have a Collins and a
Has
West.
to have him.
Collins type of player.
My question with Collins, real quick, is like, I love the potential. He's got the size and the length, and he seems like he could develop into a good pass rusher. But in college, he just wasn't at all. Like the PFF stats show that his pass rush win rate was lower than West's. It was like 7, and West was like 10, 11. Same with Michael Williams. Like Michael Williams had a really low win rate as well, but like he was playing 4-eye a lot of the time,
and he was getting doubled a lot. So
the
difference between Williams and Collins is, like I said, Williams, they do like a platoon. So you're constantly getting subbed out, you're constantly getting subbed in. Like you definitely get a lower amount of snaps compared to a lot of other college teams, right?
Yep.
Texas is the complete opposite. Like Texas will play their veterans, they'll play their best guys, and they'll play them like they'll literally ride them all game long. So the only thing I could say to kind of conflict or play devil's advocate to that is when you're playing every snap, you're probably not going to have the best get off when it comes to pass rush at that size, right? So if he's not playing every snap for us, and because I mean, Kasarik subs guys out, it's not like Bosa plays every snap, or like even Armstead, it's not like they were playing every snap. So I think if he gets a break in between, plays, I do think this guy's pass rush is going to be a lot better than what we've seen in college.
Yeah, and even if he doesn't give you anything on third down, at least you didn't take him in round 1. There's a lot less pressure on him to be a pass rusher than there is on Michael Williams, or there was on Javon Kinlaw. Like Javon Kinlaw, I mean, he didn't end up doing much for the Niners, but even if he was just a run stuffer, that wouldn't have been enough for where they took him. But Collins, it can be.
I thought it was
round 3. A lot of people thought this was the biggest reach of the Niners draft. Other people feel this guy can make the biggest impact of all the Niners rookies right away. He's got every opportunity to replace Dre Greenlaw. What do you like about this pick?
I don't know why everyone. Yeah, it is kind of a reach, but people have to realize. Maybe I'm wrong, but before he tore his MCL, wasn't this guy projected to go in like the second?
Hold on, MCL, right? MCL. I don't think he actually had surgery on it either.
No, he didn't. Because it wasn't that bad. Yeah. So I don't know. I like this pick. He's built like Dre Greenlaw. He can tackle like Dre Greenlaw. I didn't really know much about him before like this whole draft. Like me, Nick, and you, we never drafted him in a mock draft. Like I've never seen him. But after watching it, like tape on him, he looks really good. But otherwise, I don't know much about Nick Martin. I don't know much. But I know if he can come in and be a Dre Greenlaw type of player, that'd be great. I would like that. But otherwise, I don't know.
So the negatives for me on Nick Martin is I do think we overdrafted him. I think he would have been there at 138 where we.
But Nick, if he didn't tear his MCL, do you think he would have?
But it's not about like if he did or if he didn't. Like Riley Mills got taken by the Seahawks. Like Riley Mills would have been a second round guy guaranteed if he didn't blow his knee out. So it's like it doesn't, and he was taken later in the draft. So it doesn't really matter. But I guess for me, the negatives for Martin is his size, small guy. And he plays, he's a fast guy, but he plays with his head on fire, which can cause him to overrun plays. So that's another thing. But I didn't mind the pick because I do like Nick Martin. I actually drafted him in a lot of my mock drafts that I did alone.
Such a clear scheme fit, right?
Yeah, I did draft him, but I drafted him in the 5th round. So, pick 75 was a little early for me, but he is a scheme fit. And if they use him right, I think he'll be fine because of the way they drafted with the defensive line. Like when you're a linebacker that plays at that size, like he has to have a big line. He can't be having tiny offensive or defensive linemen and fill in behind it.
He's
But I think
5'11", right? I think he's 5'11".
5'11.5". Yeah.
yeah,
So
but
he's the
like
same
Quan
exact height as
Alexander
20.
was 6 foot.
Yeah, but he's like his weight is the problem too, because he's only like 215, 220, I think.
Telvin Smith was 2. You guys remember Telvin Smith?
I do not.
Telvin Smith, check this out.
no.
So Saleh, before he came to the Niners, was the linebacker coach for the Jaguars. Gus Bradley was the head coach. They're with the Niners now. And back then they had Telvin Smith at weak side linebacker. He was 6'3", 215. He ran a 4.53, and he was, pure run and hit, not taking on blocks at all. But that's kind of how Saleh's been doing. He wants Bobby Wagner speed at outside linebacker.
This
Always
guy's
has.
got speed.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
he's
like-
just got to learn from Fred. If he can study the game,
Mhm.
kind of become a film junkie, like, and he gets his, like, he where he can anticipate plays, like that's where he's gonna be at his best because of his speed.
Yeah.
Let me say what I like about him real quick, because I'm like geeking out about this guy.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know how long he'll last. I mean, at 220 pounds playing weak side linebacker as violently as he does, I mean, we saw what happened to Greenlaw. I mean, he may not last to 30, but he's a 3rd round pick. And if he can make a big impact for his rookie contract, that's a win. And one of the things I think he could be better than Greenlaw. Greenlaw was clutch and Greenlaw was violent.
That's so bold.
I know, I'm sorry, but like they took this guy in round 3 for a reason. Warner was the 70th pick. This guy was pick 75. Like Saleh really sees something in this guy. And one of the things I like about him is like, so look at the defensive linemen they drafted. None of them are like clear pass rushers, but they're really good all around players. Nick Martin had 6 sacks in 2023.
Hey, he's a good pass rusher.
Yeah. So Saleh's going to have to scheme up pressure, because it's not like Mikel's going to have like 15 sacks just going one-on-one like Bosa. He'll have Bosa, and he'll have weapons. Like he's going to rush 5 a lot, I would imagine, on 3rd down. And one of the guys I bet he's going to be blitzing is this guy, because he looks like he's going to be a better blitzer than Warner. Warner's better in coverage anyway. Yeah. So anyway, I think that's kind of a cool little way they can use him.
Plus, everyone's calling it a reach. It is a reach, but man, just let Saleh cook, bro. This guy, like, let Saleh cook with all these picks. Like,
was it a reach? I think it was interesting too, because it was a really thin position in the draft. There was besides him, there was no linebacker taken between round 2 and round 4.
Yeah, it was like 53 being like,
well, I don't know where Nick Martin's going to go. I look at his traits. So
yeah,
I
don't know. I like this pick, even though I didn't know anything really about him.
All right, so the next pick in round 3. Surprising. It seems like the Niners almost admitted themselves that this wasn't their first choice. They wanted an offensive lineman. The Raiders took 2 back-to-back right before the Niners were on the board.
2 guys I love too.
Yeah, it was Charles Grant and Caleb Rogers.
Yeah. I was such a big Charles Grant fan.
Yeah, 2 guys that would have been great for the Niners. They're gone, and it seems like the Niners pivoted to someone they liked and probably wanted to take in round 4. Upton Stout, 5'8" cornerback, super strong, super athletic, super competitive, super 5'8". What do you guys think about this pick?
Well, he's 5'8", so he's probably not going to play on the outside. He's probably going to play nickel, right?
No, yeah, he's nickel.
So then, I saw this thing. It's like if he works, like. People called this a reach too, and it's like if he works out and he's a great starting nickel, then that's fine. Like he's also, I watched tape. The guy, he's 5'8", but he hits like freaking Malik Mustafa. Like he's an absolute. He plays with no fear. He's an absolute rocket. So I don't know. This is another pick I was like kind of iffy about, but like as I'm watching more tape on them, I kind of like it. Like Nick Martin and this pick, these were like the 2 picks where I was like, but I like this pick too. I just don't know much about Upton Stout.
Yeah. I knew a little bit about him before we drafted him. I do like that they had, K'Wan Williams in mind, because I think this guy's very similar, but I think he's going to be better. And to your point about bringing Nick Martin off the edge, Grant, like I think this is a guy where you can have a cornerback blitz coming off the edge with this guy who's an absolute missile.
Didn't see with Lenore very much. God love him.
And I love Lenore, but that's not really his game. His game is kind of, obviously on the outside, and if he's playing nickel, he's going to blow people up across the middle. Like that's his game. That's not really Like, pass rushing isn't really his thing. And I don't really think it's Renardo Green's thing at all either.
No.
So this
Ronaldo
guy is
Green's
kind
not
of it's a scheme fit. It's a guy that I just think with how we drafted, we have a lot of options with stuff like this. Like, and signing Demo to that contract, like now we have an outside corner who's an absolute dog at a steal of a price, and then we get Upton Stout to play nickel, and now, I mean, I don't know who's going to argue, but 3 cornerbacks. If I had to go in a fight with them, I'm picking them out of any cornerback crew. They are dogs.
Yeah.
I feel
This
like
guy
in the
doesn't hit
modern
like he's
NFL
5'8".
I feel like in the modern NFL, like just roll with me on this one. Teams are playing 2 high safeties all the time because it's a passing league and you can't get beat deep. You don't want to give up the chunk play. So offenses are running more and more and more. So defenses are trying to stop the run without loading the box, because if you load the box, it's checkmate. It's play action pass over the top. So you get all these run defenders like Mykel Williams, Alfred Collins, CJ West, plug that defensive line without overcommitting to the box. All right, well, where's your pass rush? Well, now you got to scheme it up. And you see teams like the Seahawks or the Ravens have all this simulated pressure where it's like everyone's a pass rushing threat. You don't know who's dropping or who's rushing on a given play. The weak side linebacker could be your rusher. The nickelback could be your rusher. The nose tackle could be dropping into a zone. Yeah. That's sort of modern NFL stuff. And I think we're going to see Robert Saleh bring that. I mean, he's cutting edge.
Yeah, and the last 2 years, that's been my biggest gripe on the Niners defense is it was so vanilla. It got to where the Seahawks were towards the end of Pete Carroll, where it's just so vanilla. Like, dude, you're lining up and you're not changing, and you're playing against Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Like, you are going to get destroyed. It was just so vanilla. I was sick of it. So I love these picks, and I hope Saleh cooks with it, man.
Also, I'm not worried about him being 5'8" because he can match up with a lot of nickelbacks like that. And if he had to face someone like Jawan Jennings in the slot, they could play Marquise Siegel. He has nickel experience and he's bigger, so they have options.
Yes, or and two Stout. I mean, at 5'8", like if you watch the guy's tape, he's in on the run game on every play. Like, the guy's not afraid to stick his nose in there. So
he's 5'8", but he does not play like he's 5'8".
No.
Okay, everyone's favorite draft pick, CJ West. This was the one pick the Niners didn't reach for. Everyone knew he's a great run defender and a good value on late day 2. The Niners get him early day 3. He's a smaller guy, 0 technique, 1 technique, 2 technique, maybe 3. What do you think of this pick? What do you like about it?
DJ Jones 2.0.
Yeah, DJ Jones 2.0 for sure. But how many times, Grant, did I literally talk about this guy when we were doing mocks?
A lot. We drafted him every mock, Nick.
Every time. And I would draft him at 100. So the fact we got him at 113, man, that's awesome. Yeah. I love this pick. There's actually, I don't see a single thing that I don't like about this guy. He's literally wears shirts. He was just wearing another shirt after he got drafted in his workout. I hate QBs. Like, he talks about he hates QBs. His Instagram bio literally says something like that. And then he talks about he loves lining up at the I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, but over the center, because he loves to punch centers in the mouth. Like, this guy's an absolute dog. And if you watch his tape, let's not forget when DJ Jones came out, he was like, what, a 6th, 7th round pick? I forgot off the top of my head. But this guy was not developed like CJ West is. Like, this guy's an animal. Like, he's gonna help in the pass rush tremendously. Like, he's a good pass rush guy, and he's also great in the run, and he has that motor. Like, he's gonna keep going. He's gonna chase down people. I just love this pick. Like, there was not a single when I was sleeping during this pick. When I woke up, I was like, wow, I was so happy. That's what
I'm saying. No one's going to be able to run on our defense. CJ West, Alfred Collins, no one's going to be able to run on our defense. Those 2 guys in the middle is I don't know how you're going to be able to run on our defense. No team is going to be able to.
Dude, he literally has the strongest hands out of anybody in this draft. That's another thing about Collins. Collins has really strong hands. But if you watch CJ West, that man manhandles grown men and throws them to the side like they're little
children.
Kids.
Yeah. Here's my thing with this pick. I don't think any of us can knock the player or the value. A+. But it's the 5th defensive player in a row and the 3rd defensive lineman, and that's great. I mean, make that a strength. But you didn't touch offensive line. You wanted to probably. And
but how many times do they have to say it to us? Like, they say it straight to our face, like, oh, we believe we can get guys round 3 and on, and we can just develop them. And then when are we going to, like, we've talked about this all offseason, like, when are we going to hold Shanahan accountable for being, quote unquote, the best offensive mind in football? Like, does he need the greatest offensive line? Like, he tells us he doesn't. The media tells us he doesn't.
You remember when they were in that downward slide last year and they lost to the Dolphins, and then Richard Sherman went on his podcast that night and was like, man, offensive line needs to be priority number 1, 2, and 3 this offseason. They need a right tackle, period. They need a center. Remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, he knows ball. He was in the organization, and the Niners are like, psych, defensive line is priority number 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. And they talk about, like, Jed kept tweeting like #trenches. Nah, #trench, singular. You don't care about the offensive line.
That's actually so true. But that was kind of my like about the Nick Martin pick is Dylan Fairchild was there, and I was talking about him all off season when we were going to the mock drafts. Like, that's a day 1 starter, So I hate how Lynch came on and was like, like the draft board didn't really fall to us. It's like the Eagles got 3 offensive linemen before we picked 1, and they have the best offensive line in football. Like, surely it could have fell a different way, right? Like, I don't know. That was kind of my the thing that upset me. But if they address it next year, because we're not winning the Super Bowl this year. Like, let's be realistic here. We're not.
No, we are, Nick. Believe.
No, we're not.
Dude, they got Jordan James. Watch out.
What if they flipped it? Like, next year they go, a bunch of offensive picks in a row and then finish off with the smaller holes, like maybe
I would like that.
D-tackle, like depth pieces, because we have starters now on defense. Like, our defense looks great. We just need more depth, like we had in 2019. Like, that's really what we need. So now you just need offensive line, and then hit the depth pieces on the backside of the draft next year.
Yeah, could work. All right, we're half hour in. Let's take a little halftime break. Make some prize picks. Sponsor of the show. Lakers just got eliminated last night. Hilarious. Warriors got the doors blown off them, but they didn't have to win. They were on the road. They'll be playing tomorrow night at home against Houston. What action do you like? You want to go to Curry? Butler?
Go to Curry. Curry had a horrible game.
2 in a row.
Yeah. 24 and a half.
His more or less keeps going down. Look at that.
You ever been to Costco, Grant?
Yes.
Those Costco samples? That's what that more is right there. It's free as air.
Should we take it at home?
Of course.
Elimination game?
Of course. That's a Costco sample right there, dude.
It's a Costco sample. I like that. Analogy. That's a good one. What about Jimmy Butler? He did a whole lot of nothing in the last game too.
Yeah, but he's gonna have to pop off. Go more. We're gonna ball. Go more.
8.
Oh my god. He had 8
points. It's horrible. But he's hit it 3 out of 5. I'd go the over. Him and Curry will cook. You got hockey on here?
Do we have hockey on here? Yes.
Let's go.
So hold on. Let's stick with this game, and then we'll get to hockey in a second. I want to make 2 more picks on this game, if that's all right.
Okay,
One more Warrior. Just a wild card. Pods. Healed.
Go Buddy Healed.
Dude, Buddy Hield's a bum.
Do over.
Yeah, 11 and a half. Oof.
I mean, it takes 4 threes. Holy, I'm cooked, bro. I've been up for 16
I'm gonna say
hours.
no on him.
Yeah, go no.
I'm just not feeling Buddy Healed today. But what about Pods? He was so good in game 4.
I like Pods over 3.5 assists. Check that. How many times you gone over that line?
All right, let's see. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
It ran away.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right there.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See, that's a savvy play, man.
Yeah. That's
okay. Let's get one rocket, and then we'll get some hockey. Rockets.
Dude, I barely watch basketball anymore, man. Like, I don't watch that.
I feel like it's got to be something with Sengun.
Then we'll get to hockey in a second.
Sengun.
I heard
Amen.
He's an animal. 13.5 points.
He went for 25.
Yeah, more. I'd take that. He's gonna have to. And he plays the whole game. Guy's an animal.
Okay, let's do a little hockey then and get back to the show. All right,
Where's
who
the
you like?
Oilers?
Because I
Where's the
watch no
Oilers?
hockey.
Where's the Oilers?
Yeah,
Go down.
The Oilers don't play till tomorrow, though, right?
No, we play today. Let's
Oh.
go. Let's go, boys. Go.
Uh,
Okay, wait.
You could
Search
go
up-
over his time on ice.
Face-offs
I feel like.
one. Oh man,
I'll give
time
you
on.
a lock. I'll give you a lock. Go to Evan Bouchard over 2.5 shots on net because the guy shoots like 9
Yeah.
times a game. So
Yeah.
try to find if Bouchard is on here.
Bouchard's a
right
loose
there,
cannon,
Bouchard.
dude.
Now try to see over 2.5
Shots
shots.
on goal.
Oh, he's
Dude,
got 3.5.
You might have to do over. Look how many shots he has. Like do
Yeah.
the 3.5. You might have to do the 3.5.
Did
Look at how many
9 in the
shots.
last game.
Okay,
Dude,
had
he's
2
the
last
loose
game,
cannon, Grant.
but he
He's
had
a
9.
defenseman that just lets it rip, dude.
if it doesn't get blocked, that guy's shooting
2.5?
freaking
Yeah.
doing it.
Send it.
I mean, do it, Grant, do it.
All right, that's the savvy play.
Oh,
Anyone else?
20 to win 620. We're Bezos.
6 players selected.
You could go. Check the Knights game. Check the Knights game.
Screw the Knights.
No, check the Knights. Check the Knights. Check the Knights.
Vegas?
Yeah, Vegas.
Okay.
Let's look for face-off. Scroll down.
Ooh.
Scroll down. Any face-off plays? Whoa. You're going so fast. My eyes can't keep up, dude. I
Hold
need
on,
to
I'm looking
sleep.
for you. I got you.
All right.
Face off.
Yeah, here we go.
I don't see him. I didn't find one. I didn't find one face off.
All right. I mean, we could take Huddle to score. Just take Huddle to score. It was down towards the
Huddle?
bottom. Dude, this
Oh,
guy
that
is the leading power play scorer in the
There
NHL.
he
He's
is.
an absolute
Yeah, so
dog.
Grant, you don't know much about hockey, but this Vegas team is just ass. Like they're not good at all.
Grant, I hope he realizes that next round we play the Oilers and they're getting
Oh
bounced
yes, boys, we're gonna beat you guys. We're
like
gonna
a
cook you
basketball.
guys.
Just TL. No E. Yeah.
Where's he
there
from?
you go.
Okay.
I should see for God.
Assists, goals, points,
take
shots on goal.
take his goals. Take his goals over a half goal. The bottom. Yeah.
Oh
This guy used to play on
no!
the Sharks.
Only a maximum of 6 after all of that. Oh well.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine.
That's the lineup. Submitting it.
All right.
It's so good. It's so correct.
Grant, your favorite
Yeah.
your favorite hockey player is Evan Bouchard, isn't it? Like you just
It
love.
is. Hey guys, make sure you go download the Prize Pick app and use promo code Cohn. I'm going to be giving away a jersey soon to people who use that promo code. And if you use it now, put down $5, get 50 whether you win or lose, which is just wonderful. All right.
You gotta get
next
in
pick.
Vegas. You gotta talk
After
to your
CJ
guy.
West and Niners finally went offense, Jordan Watkins, 5'11", 437, special teams experience, explosive, also
Yeah.
seen as like a huge, major freaking reach. What'd you guys like about the pick?
He's fast.
Here's the thing. If I'm gonna combat the reach pick, okay.
Okay.
All the Ole Miss guys outside of Trey Harris were going to be seen as reaches. But just because how deep they are, and I don't care what anybody says, you can mark this down. You can bring the clip back up if this guy pans out. Jackson Dart is horrible. That is a horrible pick by the Giants.
Oh,
Okay.
terrible.
Let me just make that clear. But the Ole Miss wide receiver core, I loved all of them. There was a guy late, Antoine Wells. Late. I really liked him. I like Jordan Watkins. His upside is obviously he's an absolute speedster. And he's versatile. Those are like his two kind of upsides because he played the X and he played in the slot at Ole Miss. So he can kind of do both. That's what I like about him.
Dude, he had a
I could see him.
touchdown
I
game.
could see him taking the end arounds over Pearsall, kind of taking Debo's spot when it comes to the end arounds, just because how fast he is, and he does have good vision. He has a lot of breakaway speed. I think he has quick movements. His route tree isn't horrible; like it's not bad for this point in the draft, I guess. I thought there was a lot of receivers that went before him that were bigger reaches.
Yeah.
There was a couple guys. I mean, I've done like hundreds of these mock drafts. There's a couple guys that went before him, and I actually had no idea who they were. So, I mean, if that tells you anything, yeah, I didn't mind the pick, even though it was considered a reach by consensus.
Dude, like Nick, you even say Jackson Dart is ass. This guy had a 5 touchdown game with Jackson Dart as his quarterback, or it was like 5
Yeah.
touchdowns or something like.
He had a lot
crazy.
of production. His last season he had 960
900
yards, like
yeah.
53 receptions, something like that, and 9 touchdowns. Like,
And I think that was his best season yet. So I think honestly, if you look at all of his like yards per season, he just gets better every single season. So I don't know. I don't mind this pick. I think we needed wide receiver depth, like with Ayuk probably being out till midseason, Debo leaving. So I like this pick. I don't mind it.
Robinson being suspended.
That too. Is he officially suspended?
Not yet, but it's probably going to be at least 3
Probably gonna
games.
happen.
Could this guy play X for the 49ers?
I think so, just
Yeah,
because of
probably.
his speed. Like when you're playing X, you either have to have a crazy route tree like Ayuk. Like Ayuk can break away with his routes, or you have to have speed. And so he
Yeah,
has
And
speed.
I don't think Cowan's big enough to play X because he just
No.
gets swallowed up in the line of scrimmage. You need to get him off the line of
not.
scrimmage and
Yeah,
motion.
absolutely not. I'm
Yeah.
still a fan of Cowing. A lot of Niner fans are down on him, especially since we drafted this guy. They think he's just going to ride the bench and he's kind of done.
Yeah.
I'm still up on Cowing, but yeah, he's a slot guy. He's a slot guy for sure.
My question
I'm
is
sure-
like with Cowing and Watkins and their 4.3 speed and like Pearsall, don't you want a quarterback who can like
It always ends up in this.
I mean, what?
We always end up here.
Hey,
literally
maybe
talk
this
about
could have
that.
been
I'm just
Shador
saying.
pick. Maybe this could have been a Shador Sanders
Curtis Rourke pick.
Curtis Rourke.
I guess my other
Canadian,
issue
baby.
with this is like, was wide receiver really the biggest need on your offense? Like with defense, I felt like you drafted in order of your biggest needs. It was so like, let's go first level of defense first, and then again, and then second level, and then third level, and then we'll double back and get the first level one more time. It's like that makes perfect sense. Then it's time to go offense, like wide receiver. To me, that's just like Kyle knows wide receivers and is confident in taking wide receivers, and so he leans on what he knows, which is this guy's probably going to end up being good. But again, what about offensive line?
Yeah, I feel like
outside of offensive line though, where would you have gone?
Yeah, offensive line. I think running back was a bigger need, but then they took running back with the next pick.
But I feel like for this pick, I feel like we could have got like an undrafted free agent. Like I feel like we could have got like a Nick Nash, and this could have been like a running back pick or an offensive lineman pick.
Well, he was projected to be an undrafted free agent by CBS.
So
Doesn't mean he would have been.
So I don't know. I feel like this pick, not the best pick, but I don't mind the pick. Like he's not gonna just come in and be bad. I just hope Shanahan plays this guy. Like I feel like with Shanahan, he didn't like we saw little like glimpses of what Cowan could do. Cowan against the Chiefs. That's the one play I always bring up because that's the play I'm like, holy crap, this guy can beat cornerbacks, go down the field and catch those. Like he's super quick. So why not play Cowan? Why not play Jordan Walker? Only thing I'm hoping for is that we actually play this guy and actually give him an opportunity because we didn't do that with Cowing at all. So
yeah, I also think they went.
Pardon?
You guys got a comp for him?
No,
I got a comp.
To be honest,
Who?
Yeah, give it to me.
Dante.
Stop it!
Pettis.
Stop it! No, it's not Dante. Pettis.
No.
Stop it.
No, but I think
Pettis is the colored
he ended
hair,
up getting
right?
the yips and started dropping the ball. He ended up kind of getting his career together as a backup. He's still in the league, but
he was on, like, the Bears
with the
for a
Niners, he
while.
kept dropping passes over the middle. I don't think Jordan Watkins is going to do that. But in terms of like the movement ability, Dante Pettis was a second-round pick for a reason. Like he's fast and he could run routes, and I think this guy's probably similar frame and movement ability. I wasn't trying to take a dig at him. I didn't mean to. I don't think he's going to wash out with the Niners like Pettis did.
I hope not. I hope not.
That would be bad.
But
all right, so the next pick, Jordan James, running back, round 5, Oregon. This is a round the Niners have had a ton of success. You knew they needed to take a running back. They waited a little bit longer than I expected. Kyle Shanahan, give him credit, showed restraint, and they get Jordan James, who was very productive at Oregon, ran for like 26 touchdowns the last couple of years and high yards per carry, more than 7 yards per carry in 2023 when he was in the same backfield as Bucky Irving, who's really freaking good. What do you guys think of this pick?
Good.
Love this pick. This guy never fumbled. Like it's a stat. He never fumbled in college. That's awesome. That's amazing. I love that. He's he's super hard to take down. He kind of not really reminds me of Jordan Mason, but like he's kind of that type of player a little bit. I really like this pick. When I realized he's never fumbled in college, that made me happy. But watch, he's gonna come to the Niners like first game and fumble. But that's how.
Yeah, he my negatives are he lacks like a burst, like a quick burst. He doesn't really have that. He lacks top end speed as well. My positives are plays with good vision. He'll run people over. He has no problem running people over. And then he can catch the ball out of the backfield. That's I think a huge thing for Kyle, and I think that's why they took him, because there's backs that I liked more, but don't necessarily have that ability that he has. And then he's a blocker, like he's a willing blocker, and he's not bad at it. He was probably one of the top backs when it comes to blocking.
He's super
Um,
consistent.
Yeah, and he's consistent. And like Maj said, he doesn't fumble. So I think that's another thing that attracts Shanahan, because in the past we've had backs that fumble and they're instantly yanked for basically the entire game outside of Christian McCaffrey fumbling in the Super Bowl. Sorry.
I actually like James' burst. I don't think he has the burst to the sideline the way Garendo does, but I do
But he
think
does get upfield.
hits the line of scrimmage really freaking hard.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. He's Jordan Mason. Like,
and I like
kind of
that
Jordan
about
Mason.
him. Like, some guys hit the line of scrimmage with like patience and that's cool too. But this guy is hitting it as hard as he freaking can. And I think that's the skill set the Niners were looking for, and they lost when they traded Jordan Mason. So he's like a smaller version. He's been durable in college, and like if you're looking for like a post Christian McCaffrey backfield, I think he's a great like thunder for a thunder and lightning pairing. And if you're trying to like adjust Christian McCaffrey's workload, which you should at 29 years old, coming off the season he just came off of, and make him more of like a halftime running back who gets 8 targets a game and maybe 12 carries, then I think this guy's a great pair, because he can take all the tough carries. Give him the third and one, give him the stuff between the tackles, so that McCaffrey doesn't take that punishment. I really like that.
I like our running back room right now. We have Christian McCaffrey. Then we have Garendo, a guy that's like a speedy type of guy. And then we got a guy like Jordan James that's just going to rough it up a little bit. So I like
someone needs to be able to take the tough carries and get the tough
Exactly.
yards in this offense. It's not Garendo. And I don't think it should be McCaffrey anymore.
No, absolutely not. That's
He's gonna
why
get injured.
That's why I was high on Damian Martinez, because he's my
Yeah,
guy.
me too.
But he's not really a pass catching guy out of the backfield.
He's not as dynamic or as athletic as Jordan James either. He's bigger.
No, he's athletic. He's definitely athletic.
He's athletic.
But he doesn't. Yeah, you're right. He doesn't have like necessarily the versatility.
I like Jordan James better than Scattaboo. He's a good athlete.
Hey,
he's smaller,
Grant,
but he runs really freaking hard. And there's a stat I saw.
excited to see
PFF.
that.
Take it for what it's worth. Second highest graded runner in college football the last 2 years after Genty. This guy.
Yeah.
PFF.
Yeah, I mean he gets what's blocked for. Like, so I can see that.
Yeah.
I still wish he would have.
He has no finesse to his game. He doesn't really make guys miss, but again, he's going to hit the hole hard and get the tough yards.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
This is where the draft got so interesting to me. Round 7 quarterback.
Maple Missile.
Curtis Rourke. Going back to the round 7. Well, last time the Niners picked a quarterback here, they got Brock freaking Purdy. Can they strike gold twice in a row? What do you like about the Maple Missile?
Okay, this pick, you know what pissed me off is, you know who was available at this pick that I wish we would have picked as a quarterback?
Quinn Ewers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why
I was
not?
shocked. I was shocked.
And he went to Miami, who runs the same exact offense
Like,
as the Niners.
I do think he's gonna be better in Miami because we all know Tua's injury history. But why not just draft a guy like Quinn Ewers, who's the better quarterback? I don't know who Curtis Rourke is. Who is this? Like, no one knows who Curtis Rourke is. If you say, "Oh yeah, I watched tape on this guy before. It's really good,"
His parents know who he is.
Yeah,
His friends know who he is. People in
Like,
Canada know who he is.
This guy played on a torn ACL, which that's a dog. Love that. But otherwise, I don't know. I don't understand this. I wish we would. Quinn Ewers was available. I wish we would have picked Quinn Ewers, because Quinn Ewers maybe could have, I don't know, done something special. But I do actually like how the Dolphins picked him up. And otherwise, I don't like, this guy got drafted in the CFL yesterday.
This is literally the duality of Maj Sports, because he's hyping up Taylor Elgersma because he's from Canada.
Okay, I was joking.
And then he destroys Curtis Rourke.
No, I was joking.
But-
I didn't want Elgersma.
I know you were. But
Because I don't know.
mean-
I don't understand this pick at all. I don't understand it. I felt
Curtis Rourke is 2.5 years older than Quinn Ewers.
yeah, I mean he's
So, like,
older.
I
He's a
don't know.
winner though. Like, the thing I like about him is he's a winner. I mean, he turned around Indiana. I mean, sure they had, CJ West, they had some good players, but you're not seeing any of these receivers getting drafted.
True.
None of them. And they went to the college football playoff. So I think this, and also not to mention, people say he lacks mobility and stuff like that. Like, he was literally playing on a torn, like,
Yeah, go back and
meniscus
watch
or
his
torn
tape from
ACL. Like,
Ohio.
yeah. I mean, he played at Ohio before. Like, this guy's a good player, and I think for
just
the
don't need a
value
quarterback.
like he's not a 7th round prospect. So for the value we got him at, I like that. I also like because he's injured, we don't have to worry about, the battle between him and Mordecai and like getting rid of one of them. Like he's gonna be,
See, that
basically
pisses
taking
me
a
off.
red shirt year.
I like a good quarterback competition.
You love quarterback competition.
Hell
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's too bad. And also, I just wanted to watch Curtis Work play this offseason. Like, that's too
He's
bad.
got a
Like,
cannon.
he's going to be a
Grant,
secret.
yeah.
He's got a
Grant's gonna
cannon.
watch him throw one long ball in training, and Grant's gonna be like, "Wait, this guy could take Purdy's job."
That's what I'm saying. I'm so
has-
open
he
to like
has the
falling in
cannon.
love. I think I like watching his tape, and like when you watch his Ohio tape, you can see more of the traits that I think got him drafted. Like his arm seems
For
stronger because he had
Yeah, he's got a
a
cannon.
healthy leg. He could move better.
Mhm.
And he's
Yeah, an
Canadian.
interesting player. And he's
Cool,
tall,
man.
Isn't it funny that Brock
Yeah.
Purdy like went on that podcast a couple months ago and talked about like, hey, 40% of the time you kind of don't really see where you're throwing, and it's not because I'm short. It's not because I'm short. It's how every quarterback is. Brian Greasy's told me.
Well,
And then I just go out and get a quarterback who's like 6'4.5", and they're like, he
Yeah.
sees the field so well.
and then when they do the like post draft presser, he's like, what you like about this guy? And he's like, first thing he
Field
says,
vision.
Shanahan, he goes, his height.
Tall,
Yeah,
his size.
yeah, his
like,
size.
ugh,
I'm
I
like,
don't know.
Ugh.
am I missing something here?
At least we if he was like, only reason I like this pick is because he's Canadian.
Dude. Let's get into the
Have
next
there been
one.
successful Canadian quarterbacks in the NFL? Guys from Canada? Maj, you would know.
No, I
I
don't know.
don't think so.
He
Like,
could be
it's
the
actually
first.
crazy. One thing I didn't realize is Curtis Rowe got drafted in the CFL draft yesterday. Like, I didn't understand like how that works. Like,
Do you think he'll
like-
say like, hey, thank you very much for the opportunity, 49ers, but I need to go play for my
I don't know, but
100%.
talk about a reach. This guy got drafted 26th overall.
overall?
26th overall. That's a reach.
in the CFL
Yeah.
draft, Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Maybe they're trying to offer him more money than the Niners would pay him.
Eh,
Do you think he got paid more money at Indiana last year than he'll make as a 7th round pick for the 49ers?
I want to say probably, but
Probably.
also like they didn't have the expectations that like how their season played out. That wasn't the expectation, so maybe not.
Maybe not. But doesn't the NFL have to change their collective bargaining agreement where like players leave college football and get drafted and take a pay cut?
I mean, Shador is taking like a massive pay cut. He's gonna make like 4.5 million in 4 years, and he was making like 15 million last year. So
He's making 15 million last year?
I think he made like 15. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Yeah.
Next 7th round pick. They finally went an offensive lineman
Yeah.
from Iowa, Connor Colby. Actually tested well, moves well,
Yeah.
has experience with zone blocking. Only problem is that he has 32-inch arms. Very short.
Yeah.
What do you think of this pick?
Oh
I don't
no, I've
get
been
this
very high
arm
on
thing.
Connor is just he's an absolute beast. I fell in love with him. No, I have no clue who this guy is. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. No clue who Connor Colby is. Only like reason I'm happy
I
is
love how
'cause
you
he's an
jumped in
offensive
first to
lineman.
say that.
Yeah.
I just want to say that I have no idea who this guy is.
Well, because like if you no one knows who Connor
For
Colby
the
is.
record.
I don't know who this guy is. I don't know. No
Okay. Nick, what do you think of him?
So this arm length thing,
clue.
like
I don't know who he is.
I just think it's so played out. Like it was with the same thing with Will Campbell. Like it's so played out. If you watch him compete at the college level and you're watching him play, like it's not like these guys are coming from Middle Tennessee State, or Appalachian State, where you're like, who did this guy play? Like they're playing big name guys. They're playing guys that are getting drafted. Like it's so played out to me. So I don't mind that. I love how he tested athletically. Tested very high. His RAS was really high. And like to your point, like they run the zone blocking scheme, so he's familiar with the style of offense that we run. And not to mention, when you're playing at Iowa, there's a reason why George Kittle is such a damn good blocking tight end. That's all they do. You can't name an Iowa receiver. I can't even name the quarterback. You know what I mean? So they run the hell out of the ball. And not to mention, he was blocking for a guy who went in the 2nd round, Caleb Johnson. So he knows what an NFL running back like feels like when you're blocking for him. So I like the pick. I'm glad
Is he
they
a
finally
guard?
went out. Yeah, he'll probably play guard, and I
Well,
think
that's
he
my
can swing.
question because the Niners keep drafting these similar, like athletically profiled offensive linemen. I would compare Colby to Jarrett Kingston from last year and Nick Zakelj,
Yeah,
guys who
very
like
similar.
really tested well, but
Yeah.
have short arms. And it's like, what position are you? For Zakelj, the Niners are like trying to move him to center, which is like a 3-year project that may never work out. For Kingston, they just cut him. And for Colby, my question is like, what is it going to be? Is he going to stick a guard, or are you going to try to move him to center like you did with Zakelj? I don't know.
He'll play guard. But
it's at round 7, at the end of round 7, you can look at these as like glorified UDFAs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good depth.
Yeah.
Wait, does anyone know where Jake Majors went?
Yeah, dude, he went like either late in the 7th or undrafted. I think he went undrafted actually.
I know, but that's what I know. He went undrafted. That's why I'm wondering, where did he go? Because he's a dog. Like, there's no way he didn't get drafted.
I think it was Atlanta or Tennessee off the top of my head. Those could be completely off. But anyways,
that was our Jake Brendel replacement right there.
This is the reason why we're here.
Undrafted free agent.
Tampa, yeah.
Buccaneers?
Yeah. This is the reason why we're here for this whole stream, is this pick right here.
Yeah.
Dude, the best pick of the draft. Return man from Montana, Junior Bergen. This felt a little unserious. I don't know. I mean, I've watched the film. I was expecting to see like, oh, this guy is a record-setting returner. I was expecting
in the 7th round,
something, man. But he runs a 4.58. He's not particularly big, but he did have a lot of success returning punts in college. What do you think?
Love it. I mean, I've been so high on Junior Bergen ever since, you know.
This guy Mod.
No, like these picks, like no one knows who Carter Colby is.
Isn't he? But Montana's close to you, right? Like you've word in the street with the Edmonton is that Junior Bergen wasn't he was going to get drafted in the first round in CFL, was he not? I don't.
Probably high if he went.
Probably
I don't know. I like if he's a good return guy, then yay. Awesome. Great pick.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a special teams guy.
Yeah.
Return guy. I don't see him playing receiver, considering we have other receivers on the roster that I like. Like I like Isaiah Hodgins.
Here's my prediction.
Give it to me.
Junior Bergen's going to get cut, and the Niners returner next year is going to be Trent Taylor.
Absolutely.
No,
not.
don't even say that. Oh
yeah.
No, that's bad.
You know who their punt returner should be though?
Do you think they go Jordan Watkins over him?
They should go Pearsall. I feel like Pearsall was solid last year.
He was solid. I'm so sick of the Niners going with a guy that's like, hey, this guy's gonna run for 2 yards, absolute max, but hey, he'll catch the ball every time. Like,
yeah. That was
like I'll take a fumble here and there if we
Cowan kept like
Devin
diving
Hester
for the ball. He scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, you know what pick we forgot? We forgot Marcus. Did we talk about Marcus Siegel?
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Good call.
No,
we mentioned him earlier.
We mentioned
all right, let's talk about this one because this pick really matters. Marcus Siegel, end of round 5, 6th defensive pick, plays safety and nickel.
Yep.
5'10", runs a 4.37 with like 31-inch arms. Just in terms of his build and his testing, very Jimmy Ward-esque.
Yeah.
Jimmy Ward was a first-round pick. This guy was not, but he had production. He went to Kansas State, 5th-round pick. Niners have had success there. DJ Reed, Diamondo Lenore. What do you like about
Huff? Wasn't Huff
5th-round pick?
Yeah,
Kittle Greenlaw.
I like this pick because of the Malik Mustafa news. Like we had to draft a safety. Like this like I was kind of confused on why we drafted a safety. Well, not that confused, but I don't mind this pick. I still wish it was Andrew Makuba.
Yeah. I like this pick. I just think where the NFL is going, like there's so many good tight ends that are almost receivers playing tight ends, you know?
Yeah.
Like you have, even in our division, you have Trey McBride. The Rams just drafted Terrence Ferguson, and they already have, I don't know why I'm blanking on his name off the top of my head, the Rams.
Tyler Higbee.
Yeah, Higbee. You know, and the Seahawks have kind of always had like pretty mid tight ends, but I think they're going to go that direction too. I mean, you got Colston Loveland, Tyler
Didn't they draft
Warren.
Elijah Royal?
They did. Injury concerns for him, for me, but yeah, he's not a bad player. But I mean, to my point, there's a lot of guys that are very good tight ends and that are more athletic than what we're used to in the past in the NFL. So I like this pick. I think he's a great matchup for tight ends, playing nickel as well. Like I just think it allows for a lot more versatility. Like imagine if we had Siegel and then we have Mustafa when he's back from injury, and like to the point we made earlier with Stout coming off the nickel for a blitz, like Siegel could pick that guy up no problem. So I actually really like this pick, and I thought we needed a safety. My hope was Malachi Moore, but he went a lot earlier than I thought he would go, which kind of shocked me. But he's a great player, so yeah, I do like the Siegel pick.
I feel like every 49ers pick that we got, they're just going to turn out to be all pros.
Yeah, this guy.
You call Maj. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Maj.
I think this guy's going to end up playing as a rookie. I mean, his competition is
Richie
Jason
Grant,
Pinnock.
Jason Pinnock,
Jair Brown, who ain't it. I mean, I think Salah's clearly looking for a specific skill set. It's the Jason Pinnock, Marcus Siegel, Jimmy Ward.
Well, they also have Richie Grant.
They also have Richie Grant.
Yeah.
But I mean, if this guy gets thrown into the starters in training camp and plays well, he'll keep the job.
I think so too.
This defense could start 6 rookies,
which I would love.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be a nice departure from last year, which was just starting veteran for the sake of it.
It's refreshing, yes.
It's refreshing.
Yeah, if I have to see one more snap of Devondre Campbell, I am never turning.
He's not.
TV
Devondre Campbell's not on the team.
I know he's not, but I'm talking about anywhere. Even if he goes to the
UFL,
the CFL, or where's the old Niners coach coaching in like Europe?
I don't know.
Why am I spacing on his name, dude?
It might be worth going back and looking at how Gus Bradley and Pete Carroll and Robert Saleh built the Legion of Boom the first time around, because I believe they started rookies routinely. Bobby Wagner started as a rookie. Richard Sherman started as a rookie. Earl Thomas started as a rookie.
Cam and Earl Thomas.
Yeah, they weren't developing slowly in the background. They were on the freaking field. And I think that's probably the plan.
That defense haunted me.
Yeah.
It was so incredible because it's like running cover 3 all the time is what offenses want you to do. Like, oh, you're going to leave the middle of the field closed and you're going to like just play 3 deep, like, and invite the play action pass. Cool. But they had Earl Thomas and Richard Sherman deep. So like, where are you going to throw? You're going to throw over on the other side. Like Earl Thomas is like cheating over there. Like you can't.
Yeah. And then if you throw it over the middle, Cam Chancellor's going to take your head off and
destroys you, or Bobby Wagner, or KJ Wright. Yeah.
Or didn't they have Cliff Averill too? Like
Cliff Averill was incredible. Yeah, that defense in 2013 was one of the best defenses of all time.
They could have thrown out a high school team for their defensive line, and they still would have been good, dude.
Yeah.
All right, we did it. It seemed like we saw the vision with most of the picks, even with Jordan Watkins.
Yeah. What's your overall grade?
I don't like giving grades right now because
I think it's in the B range. I think it's in the B range. I think Connor Colby and signing DJ Humphries after the fact help, but going another draft without really addressing that position is hard to justify. But I like all the picks individually.
Maybe in next year's mocks, we just have to take all offensive linemen. We just send a message. You know what I mean?
7 rounds.
Well, if McKivitz leaves in free agency and Burford leaves in free agency, and Trent Williams entering the last year of his contract, they might have to.
Yeah.
I mean, Brendel will be 35 or something.
I hope they sell Brendel for a washing machine and a bag of potato chips, because that would be more beneficial to this organization, is having cleaner.
I don't know that you could necessarily get a bag of Doritos for Jake Brendel. Like Doritos.
I might have been
Cool Ranch.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
But my overall grade is a B+.
That's fair.
Yeah, B+. I don't want to go higher because 1, the offensive line, and 2, there were spots that I'd love to see the Niners trade back and gain more picks. Like for me, I thought our draft was way better than the Rams. However, the Rams trading with Atlanta and picking up that first round pick next year.
Yeah.
I thought that was so smart, especially with them. I mean, they're probably going to package a couple of those and go quarterback.
One thing I want to say real quick is, like, with the Niners, I think what they do is they do a good job of building a board that fits their scheme and like staying true to it. But I don't think they do a good job of like understanding where the rest of the league values players.
Yeah.
Because if they did, then they could trade down and they could be like, look, Nick Martin is, who knows, maybe he's 60th on our board. We would love to take him at 75, but the rest of the league has him at 175. So why don't we trade down and get him at 138? But the Niners are like, no. We're just going to be true to our board. And I think they've been doing that since John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan got here.
Yeah. I mean, they could have traded down, grabbed an extra pick, still got Nick Martin, and then traded back up in front of the Raiders and snagged like Charles Grant or somebody like that. Like,
like if you're sitting there at 100 waiting for Charles Grant or Caleb Rogers and you like them a lot, man, freaking trade up 3 spots, make it happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
And that's one of my issues with the John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan regime. They seem like they're pretty passive in the draft. They didn't make any trades this year. Not up, not down. You got to work the board a little bit, especially when you have 11 picks.
Do you think it's PTSD from the Lance situation?
Well, it should be PTSD.
Think about
in like the 4th round.
They traded down for Solomon Thomas. They traded down for Javon Kinlaw. Neither one worked.
And they've done one trade since then, like in the draft.
They traded up for Garendo. That was money.
That was the one that they've done, and it still hasn't really panned out how they thought it would. I don't think.
Yeah, I think you might be right about that. I think there's a little bit of PTSD from that, which is.
I mean, the way Jed York was tweeting too, he's probably in the room going, "Don't you even think about it, Kyle. Don't you think about it?" Because I already sent my tweet out, so you better draft this guy.
Didn't it kind of feel like Jed was in the draft room being like, "Dude, who should I let make the next pick?
Yes,
Kyle or Robert? Robert has picked 4 in a row. Kyle." Nope, it's Robert's turn again.
Dude, that and the way he was tweeting, like it just felt like it was like a Netflix show, like a Love Island, like he's tweeting spoilers. I'm like, dude, what am I watching? This is an owner?
Did you notice that the Niners posted video clips of Kyle and John calling the players from the war room when they made the selections?
And Jed's just Twitter fingers.
And Jed's in the background looking at his tweet, and I was like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, dude,
what
Twitter fingers,
doing?
man.
Anyway, that's the show. Thanks for watching. It was a fun draft year. This was a very interesting draft, and OTAs are around the corner. So next time we talk, we'll be talking about Brock Purdy's contract. Aren't you excited? I'm excited. Can't wait.
Yeah,
I couldn't be more excited.
Thanks for watching.
70 mil.